We are back, my beautiful people. Got some more malicious compliance, so let's get in the stories, and I'll see you in a bit. Unfortunate screensaver. About 15 years or so ago, yours truly was working as a theater technician, stage not operating, at an arts center which hired out upon occasion for corporate affairs of various sorts. The event was an insurance company holding a risk management conference, basically to shout at their sales slime about not mis-selling financial products, or at least how to not get caught. Your standard corporate doze fest, thinks I. But I had exams and figured the gig would be a chance to revise. All is going pretty much to plan, modulo the usual idiots who don't actually speak into the mic, and the mumblers. But that is fairly normal for these things. Then, Mr. Big Knob arrives. He thinks himself very senior, second under the assistant to one of the assistants to under the secretary for paperclip distribution, or something like that. Very full of himself and very alpha. Conversation, in earshot of my boss and grand boss. Big Knob.
Son, I want you to put my laptop up on the big screen and then don't touch it. I don't want you messing with the picture while I'm talking, because I know you people like to mess around with senior people's presentations.
Me thinking, WTF, but be professional. Fair enough. Picture, sound, and light, then leave it alone until you finish. Doesn't bother me. Big Knob.
That's right. I don't want you touching anything.
Me. Okay, fine. Thinking, you utter prat. But easiest projection shift ever. Well, at the due time, Mr. Big Knob makes his way onto stage, and I do my thing. House lights go down, lectern lights and mic come up, tab out and laptop to projector. We are off to a very tedious couple of hours of death by PowerPoint, thinks I. Turns out the guy is using Word, not PowerPoint. And this matters, because this guy puts up a page of basically unreadable text. Slides should not have more than 5 lines, and proceeds to harangue the audience while walking up and down the front of the stage, ignoring the laptop. Mostly inaudible, because he had not let me fit him with a lav, and in the dark, because he had told us he was going to use the podium, and I was not to touch the controls. Well, after 15 minutes or so, the laptop does what they do when left alone. The screensaver kicks in. Gay BDSM porn, some of it featuring Big Knob as the bottom. 30 feet wide and 15 feet high appears behind him on the screen, and he had plenty of slides. I am watching from the control room, maliciously sitting on my hands. I got no comeback at all from my management, but the look of horror on his face when he turned around was priceless. And I suspect the risk management lesson that was imparted was not quite the one he expected. The look on the CEO's face was interesting as well. The CEO actually came up afterwards and said, "He told you not to touch anything, didn't he?" I said, "Yes." CEO mutters, "Figures." Middle management tells technician not to interfere with presentation. Gets exactly what he asked for. Entitled mom burns their precious baby with hot sauce. So I was originally going to put this in r/entitled parents, but then decided it would be better here. Tell me if I should also post it there. So a little backstory. I work in a store that has samples. One sample is a really spicy hot sauce. It makes grown men cry. Well, that kids are not allowed to try that sauce unless they have permission from a parent. So this one boy and his mother, EK and EM, as you probably know, EK tries some of our sauces, mostly mild ones, slightly spicy, but he found that spice way too hot. EK eventually notices the super hot sauce and starts to trying it, to which I say, "Me, oh, you can't try that without parents' permission. It is insanely hot and has caused grown men to cry." EK, "Oh, okay." I thought that was the end of it. Boy, was I wrong. EK tells EM what I said in some twisted way or something, but I didn't hear. EM comes up and says, "EM, How dare you tell my baby boy he can't try the hot one? He is way stronger and smarter than you. He got all A's in 3rd grade. A stupid retail worker at a tourist town is too stupid to understand. So, just do your job like you are trained to do and let my boy try. Me, already annoyed. Ma'am, I told your son it is very hot and very painful, and he shouldn't try it. But if he had parents' permission, it's okay. This is when I get the idea. Under one condition, of course. EM. Well, hurry up and tell me what to do. Your presence is killing my precious baby boy's brain cells. Me. Well, all you gotta do is sign a form saying you knowingly and willingly allow your son to try the hot sauce. I just have to write one of those up, of course. EM. Yeah, whatever. Just hurry up. So, I wrote out a basic form along the lines of, I, blank, hereby allow my son to try the very spicy hot sauce at blank, knowing full well how hot and painful this sauce can be. Blank for her signature, blank for my signature. Now she has already bought something in this store using card and had to sign the receipt. So I asked her to sign the form the same way she signed the receipt, for extra proof that she agreed. She quickly signed the form I wrote, and EK dunked his sample stick into the sample as far as it could go, about an inch deep, and cleans it off in one go. Now, when I said this sauce is very, very spicy, I wasn't kidding. Jalapenos rate 1,500 to 2,000 Scoville units, where the ghost pepper rates out at 1 million Scoville units. This sauce rates at a whopping 750,000 Scoville units, and uses pepper extract to reach that heat. And if you don't know, pepper extract is an oil. An oil will linger in your mouth. So this sauce will burn for a good 20 minutes. A good 1 second goes by after EK tried the sauce till you saw his face contort into sheer terror and agony. He started crying, bumbling, screaming, incoherently speaking at the same time. It was quite the sight to behold. EM. What have you done to my baby? He eats hot Cheetos all the time. He can handle heat. You must have poisoned him. Hot Cheetos don't even really get as hot as jalapenos. Me. This sauce is far hotter than a habanero and at least a few hundred times hotter than hot Cheetos. EK, in barely recognizable English. Mommy, it hurts. EM. I'm gonna sue you for poisoning my baby. Now give me chocolate milk for free. We sell chocolate milk for $1.50. Me. I'm sorry, ma'am, but I can't do that. I was only trained to sell the chocolate milk for $1.50 per bottle. So you're gonna have to pay just like everyone else. At this point, she is screaming so much you could probably mistake her for a flock of chickens, all getting strangled or something. But I just ignore her till she storms out in a huff. Sorry, this is not a big malicious compliance story, but I thought it fits here. Please tell me if I should repost it in r/entitled parents. Quick little side note. Although this story sounds fake, and just might be, just remember at the end of the day, we're only reading stories because they're fun. So as long as it was fun, it was a good story. Deny me my contract, but make me do the work anyway? Fine, I'll do exactly what you ask. Hi all, long-time lurker, but my first post here. It's also a long one, but the backstory seems kinda necessary to me. Okay, so I used to work in a fairly well-known, or at least where I'm from, discount store, where almost everything was the exact same price. Anyhow, I'd been working there for enough of a time to consider myself fairly experienced, and I worked damn hard at that place for the first 2 managers we had. Enter lazy manager. My first manager had realized I had the potential to start as a supervisor, so he put in a request for my training to start before he left. The second manager honored that, and everything was fine. Eventually, they had to leave to be replaced with a lazy manager. Our contracted managers, on salaried pay, unlike us hourly workers, had a 40-hour minimum contract. I'm about 99% certain that they, lazy manager, fudged those numbers, Because if you come in at 7 a.m. and leave at 2 p.m., that's 35 hours since she always took 2 days off. Oh, and took an hour lunch every day. So that's 30 hours. Some days they even left earlier, like 12 or 1 p.m. Naturally, that meant that despite being in training, all of the supervisor work fell to one other supervisor and me, with barely any experience, staying 2 to 3 hours past my finishing time unpaid because if the store wasn't tidy, I'd get it in the neck. And I started to get fed up, understandably, especially since you don't get the pay increase until you're on supervisor contract. The time comes for my training to end and my contract as a supervisor to start. And she decides I'm not ready yet, despite me running the store basically on my own for large periods of the week. Okay, fine, be that way, whatever. I carry on doing what I'm doing while looking for other work. About 3 months or so later, she tells me she's ready to finalize my contract. Great, but only if I can clear a 15 pallet delivery in 4 hours with an understaffed team. Are you insane? I worked my ass off and cleared 14 pallets, 2 of which I stayed late to finish. Nope, not good enough. Now I'm pissed. Our retail director hierarchy was lazy manager, area manager, regional manager, retail director, was due in for a visit the next day, and our store was a crap hole as a result of lazy management and lack of staff. So when she asked me, bring down all the pallets from the upper warehouse, I saw a chance, a moment for potential revenge, and I took it. She wanted the whole delivery cleared so it looked like we were some amazing hotshot store, and she gets all the credit. We had a 13 pallet delivery, fairly large but not unusual. We also had 11 pallets of old seasonal stock that gets binned / given away in the corner of the upstairs warehouse. Enter malicious compliant. Straight after lazy manager left, I brought down all 13 pallets and stuck them into the corner of the lower warehouse. Then I brought down the 11 pallets of old seasonal stock and boxed it all in, making it look like a massive delivery that no one had bothered working. After tidying the store, I left it all there, awaiting tomorrow's crap storm. I had the day off, but I was absolutely not going to miss this. Our retail director was a firm believer in being on time. So if he said 9 a.m., it wasn't 8:59 or 9:01. It was 9 a.m. on the dot. So I got there a few minutes early and made myself busy, deciding which bottle of drink I was going to buy. I see him come in, get greeted at the door, and make a beeline for the warehouse. About 30 seconds later, I hear frantic yelling, and I can see them through the glass pane on the warehouse door. He's ripping her a new one. She actually starts crying, goes up the back way to the office, and a few minutes later has her stuff and is leaving. Retail director calls up the supervisor and tells them to close the store as normal, and a temporary manager will be there tomorrow. I quit not long after anyway, but I wasn't letting that slide. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed the stories, and if you did, you know the drill. Consider subscribing, and if you really liked it, maybe give it on a thumbs up and a share. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.